Hello, how's it going? Welcome back to some more F1 24 and another part of our career mode. Today we have got the US Grand Prix. We've got plenty of resource points coming up. We've got a few little developments that we can do. So we'll have a little look at that in a minute. First of all, though, we need to give ourselves 7 cars out on track in the race. I mean, that's going to be really tough to do for the wind tunnel. So we'll try and do fastest lap in any session. Achieve a position a second or better in qualifying. Yeah, I suppose we'll have to go for that. In practice, complete a lap using at least 2 sets of tyres. That's although the 5th gear one is surely easier to do that. Perfect one practice program during the weekend. That is fine. Right, let's have a little look at R&D. There are a couple of bits that seem to be changing next year. Now, obviously, we know we're not going to be here next year, so, you know, we don't really care so much. But I suppose we should play the game and try and get some of them things protected for next year. It looks like the chassis is also going to be affected. I mean, this is crazy. Wow. Yeah, so it's going to be quite a dramatic change, isn't there? But yeah, let's just adapt some of the parts, because I feel like we should do that to get them ready for the next season. Okay, let's advance on then and see what happens.
Okay, mate, I know we were expecting some new developments to come through, but I'm afraid to say that some of them have failed quality control. We're going to need to tell the team what to redevelop via the R&D screen.
Oh, unbelievable. We don't have enough resource points anyway, so we'll just continue on. There's some in the bag. Okay, so what do we get? 286. So we can adapt a couple more parts, can't we? Yeah, let's go for that one. Still another 7 at risk. Okay. So we are heading towards the Texas Grand Prix. We are still the best team. It seems like other teams are protecting their developments as well. But yeah, this is going to be quite nervy. Let's just have a little look at our stuff. Yeah, 30%. I mean, that's pretty decent. We have got 2 other components as well, so I mean, certainly for gearbox we should probably just put in a, because there's not many races to go actually, so yeah, let's put a nice fresh engine in there for this weekend. Yeah, that looks good. Right, let's head to it then. I love COTA. I think COTA is probably my favourite track to drive. I'm never particularly quick round here, but it is always one that I enjoy. And of course, it's a sprint weekend. It's looking like it's going to be rainy in the race tomorrow, the race episode tomorrow. So that's going to be very, very interesting. But one practice session, that is all we've got. So I will see you guys for SQ1 very, very shortly.
It's a United States love affair with Formula One at the moment, so what a thrill for everyone today to see our drivers lapping COTA at full hot lap speed. It's the Circuit of the Americas, and it's qualifying.
Okay, here we are then, down on track for sprint quali. Pace was very, very good in practice. Feel really good in the car, and I'm hopeful. I am very, very hopeful. Have a little look at our setup this weekend. Of course, we have to use the medium tyres in SQ1. We only get 1 set of medium tyres. They have fixed that in the game. So we're going to head out there nice and early and try and get this lap in. But I'll see you at the end of the lap and see how we get on. Well, here we go then, up to the line. It's a very good one, 31.8. Puts us ahead of George Russell. But yeah, looking very, very strong indeed. Norris pops up into P2. Well, that should be enough to get through to SQ2. Let's see how the other times look come the end of the session. Well, there you go. Very dominant in Q1, a 31.8, 7/10 quicker of Lando Norris. It looks like we might be in a world of our own this weekend. I'll start at Q2 and it's a 32.0. It's not quite as quick as what we managed in SQ1, but it should be enough to get through to SQ3. And there you go, we are through to SQ3. Lando Norris through just by the skin of his teeth. Going out in SQ2, Albon, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Ocon, and Kevin Magnussen. Right, let's take on a lap of Austin to see if we can take sprint pole. As I say, we have been incredibly fast so far this weekend, including on hard tyres in practice. We felt really comfortable on those tyres, but this first sector in particular, we are just able to take so much speed through the S's and keeping it virtually flat through all of it. Purple first sector, trying to be a little bit careful through that middle section there, not to get any track limit violations. We didn't really trouble the apex there, but we stay off the curb. DRS enabled. And Norris looking disappointing. Sainz quite slow. I have no idea what we're aiming for in terms of a lap time, but what I want to do is try and get as close to whatever we've done in SQ1 and SQ2, to purple sector 1, to purple sector 2. And now we're flying through this final sector. Absolutely love this corner. I mean, this car is just feeling amazing. And we fly now into the final couple of corners. We just have to keep it within track limits, and we head up to the line. It's going to be a 31.2. What an awful time for screen tear, but it is pole position with a 1:31.2. A very, very quick lap there. And something we can be very, very pleased about. That was awesome. And yeah, we take pole by 0.6 of a second. Again, a little bit like Belgium. It looks like we are in a little bit of a world of our own. But we'll see how the sprint race goes. Of course, 100% live com.
So it's all about speed in today's sprint. Not very many laps and no chance to get ahead on strategy. Who here today has the raw skill to take them to the top? It's the Circuit of the Americas then, situated 14 miles outside of the great city of Austin. This is a 3.6-mile lap with 20 corners, 10 to the left and 10 to the right, and top speeds of around 200 miles per hour. Overtaking opportunities are available into turns 1 and 12, especially with that rear wing DRS wide open. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. An immense lap from Lewis Hamilton yesterday puts him on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Leclerc, Russell, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Norris, Stroll, Albon, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Ocon, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Bottas, Tsunoda, Zhou, and Logan Sargent. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out. And joining me in the commentary box today with the best view on what is about to unfold and some strong views on the action we're about to see, Naomi Schiff. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. And let's talk momentum with this driver. What a sprint it was.
Look at all of this ridiculousness of the glitch, and I love it. Right, yeah, we are down on track then. It is going to be medium tyres because soft tyres are just going to absolutely die. They're going to fall off the face of the earth by the end of the sprint race. So we are going to go for medium tyres, and we'll see how we get on today. As I say, it's going to be... It's trickier in sprint format, but seven laps, 100% live com.
Interesting to see who gets pole position.
Well, this is interesting because Sainz and Ocon have gone soft tyres, so they're going to be pretty rapid at the start, particularly Sainz. You'd expect him to maybe get up about P5, but then he'll be hanging on at the end.
On the grid, with the drivers and teams making their final preparations.
So here we go then. It is Lewis Hamilton on sprint pole. And we've got to... We obviously have to do it all again tomorrow in tomorrow's episode, but can we get ourselves our first sprint victory of the season? That's going to be the big question. We've got pace. Let's see if we can pull it off. Lights out, away we go here in Austin. It's a good start off the grid, and we managed to get to turn 1 ahead of Max Verstappen. We're going to leave room down the inside for George Russell, but we managed to get ourselves through. It's Russell up into second. Leclerc has got himself up into third. Verstappen, poor start for him. He's already down to 5th place, and we're flying through this first sector exactly how we expected to. And we need to try and get more than a second ahead of George Russell. That is the absolute priority here, because if we end up in a DRS battle, that is going to mean that we're battling and not able to pull away as much as we could. But we're already 8/10 ahead of George Russell. This was a perfectly executed start. We need to do this again on Sunday, presuming that we are going to be able to get another pole position in race qualifying tomorrow. But this is the perfect start, and now we are that crucial second ahead of George Russell. Just got to make sure we don't make any mistakes. There we are, 1.2 seconds is the lead.
You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead.
And that is exactly what we needed to do. And now we can just control the pace. There's no DRS to bring us back into a battle with George Russell. See, I mean, through that first sector we are just rapid. We'll knock it down into medium ERS mix. We'll see how much time he makes on the straight. I feel like they're going to have more straight line speed than us. A couple of tenths perhaps. Through the corners we are just really controlling the pace. We've got so much downforce on the car, and you got to say this is the absolute perfect start to a sprint race. You know, it's obviously only 7 laps, so it's crucial that you get a good start, and that's exactly what we did. A 1:33.0 there. And I'm glad we didn't go for the 7 overtake option on our target, because I don't think we're going to be overtaking a lot of cars this weekend. As I say, we're in an absolute world of our own here. At one with the car, at one with the circuit. Look at that, 2.5 seconds now ahead of Russell and Leclerc, because they're battling. That is the issue when you're battling other cars. That's what can happen. You can see we have just checked out here at the front. But they do gain quite a bit of time on that back straight. Oh, first corner cut warning of the entire weekend there. Let's not get another one of them. We'll slip it back up into hot lap mode to try and push on here. But yeah, I'm intrigued that Carlos Sainz hasn't made as much progress as we perhaps thought he would on those soft tyres. I think the soft tyres are kind of just in the bin for this weekend in terms of any serious race times. But I suppose if safety cars come out, red flags, you know, you might want to risk it towards the end of a race. This is going very nicely, 4 laps so far, and you can see how much more pace we've had with the hot lap mode on. 2.8 seconds now, that gap. But, you know, we've lost a second of lap time compared to what we were doing on lap 2 in particular. You know, tyres are not lasting brilliantly, so it may well be hard tyres in the race. Going to be the ones to be on. Bit of overtake out of that corner. See the engine braking though is starting to unsettle the rear on these slightly more worn tyres, so it's whether when Parc Fermé reopens, do we need to just reduce the engine braking a little bit to take that pressure off ourselves. Those are the sort of things you need to consider after a sprint race, but it's looking very, very good for us. It looks like it's going to be a Mercedes 1-2, and we talked about potentially hunting down Red Bull in the Constructors' Championship. This is exactly what we need to do. If we have a really positive weekend where we massively outscore Red Bull, then it is very much Championship back on in that aspect. We're more than 100 points behind Verstappen in the Drivers' Championship. There's no way of turning that one around. I think he just forged too big a lead at the start of the season. but we can very much hunt them down in the constructors. But we got to work together. We got to work with George on that. George has got to be there or thereabouts in every Grand Prix. We can't afford to have an off weekend. Because we are the fastest team now. And we should be winning races, and you know, we probably would have won Singapore had we not made a misjudgment in qualifying. It was Fernando Alonso that reaped the rewards from that.
Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race.
Well, here we go, final lap then. Other than a turn 1 today, we've not really had any pressure for the lead. This has been absolutely bulletproof. Quick look at the tyre wear. So we're looking at about 30% tyre wear from 7 laps. So that's good to know for the race. But yeah, this has worked out pretty much perfectly. I'm impressed George Russell. Oh well. I was just about to say I'm impressed George Russell has managed to keep Leclerc behind the whole race, but Leclerc has got past him on the final lap of the sprint race. He's managed to make that DRS pay, and George Russell is now going to end up finishing 3rd here in the sprint, which is a shame because it should have been a Mercedes 1-2. It's going to be a Mercedes 1-3 because we come round the final corner and we win our sprint race. Very, very well played.
Amazing job. I'm so grateful. Everyone back in the factory, everyone working so hard.
George Russell gets driver of the day. I feel like we've been robbed there, to be honest.
So with the sprint concluded, join us next time for qualifying and of course the main event, this weekend's Formula 1 Grand Prix. We'll see you next time.
But there you go, Carlos Sainz only managed to finish 8th in the end and Ocon only 14th, so yeah, it didn't seem to be worth to be on the soft tyres. We increased our gap to 5 over George Russell. And you can see the constructors, we've shaved a little bit more off Red Bull's lead. 70 points is the difference now. It's still on. We can still do it, but we've got to maximise our points from here on in. Ferrari are going to end up finishing 3rd, McLaren 4th, Aston Martin in 5th. Alpine are in a battle with Williams for 6th in the championship. And Sauber and Haas are in a fight for 9th and 10th. I believe everybody in the championship has scored points this year, which is very, very good to see. But yeah, let's see what all of that has an effect on our ratings. Experience goes up, racecraft up, awareness, pace should be a big increase, really. There you go, a nice little increase to our rating. And there you have it then. That is where we're going to leave it for today. If you have enjoyed that, give it a massive thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more F1 content. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching and goodbye.